Hey folks, welcome back to another video of the Flutter development course brought to you by Newton School. My name is Harsh Kumar Khatri and I am currently working as a Flutter developer at Hoop, Sweden. I have worked as an intern at Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and I have also have some experience working as a Flutter developer intern at AppScript. I am also an instructor on Udemy and Edunix, where my Flutter development courses have more than 40,000 plus enrollment, so you can check them out as well. Now talking about what Newton School is. So basically Newton School is a platform that helps you to develop and learn the skills that you need for your best tech career. They have courses specifically designed for freshers, working professionals and for women with no prior experience in tech. Newton School first trains you for 6 months and helps you become a full stack developer. It is also having a network of 300 plus great companies who hire directly from Newton School. So once the training is complete, you don't need to worry about the placement, as you will be placed with one of the best companies in the country. There is also a pay after placement program where you don't have to pay to Newton School anything until you are placed with a minimum CTC of 5 lakh rupees per annum. They are having another awesome initiative known as Launchpad, where you are provided with some of the courses for free of cost, and you will also be getting a certificate of completion for completing those courses. So you can check Newton School and Launchpad through the link given in the description. Now coming towards what would be covered in this video. So this video will be basically in two halves. So in the first half, I will be telling you how you can set up your Firebase project inside your Firebase dashboard. And in the second half of this video, I'll be showing you how you can set up the email sign in and email sign up inside your Flutter project. So we'll be working on the complete implementation totally from scratch. So let's jump directly to it. And let me open my Firebase console over here. So if you don't have any Firebase account, you can directly search Firebase console over here, and it will be providing you with the first link where you can directly click on, and it will be opening the console for you, or like it may ask you to sign in if you haven't already. So it will be opening a console for you. For me, I'll be using this particular ID for making the demo projects and will be showing you the implementation through this. So here you can see that I have two projects which are available over here. I've already shown you the walkthrough of what are the things which are available in the Firebase in the previous video. So if you haven't checked that out, then make sure to check that out as well. And for this video, what I need to do is I'll be adding a project over here directly, and I'll be providing a name to my project. For this, I'll be naming it as a demo proj. After this, clicking on this continue button, and I'll be keeping this enable Google Analytics for this project as checked only. Although I won't be using much of the analytics part in the video, but let's keep it as default. And for the account, that would be default account for Firebase, and clicking on the create project over here. And it will be taking some time for creating this project. So let's wait for a while until the project is being created. And it is finishing up. Continuing to the dashboard. And here you can see that we are provided with the dashboard, and we are concerned about the authentication part for this video. So I'll be going directly into the authentication, and we'll be clicking on this get started over here. Here you can see all the options which are available to you for like adding the sign in and sign up authentication feature inside your application. So we'll be using the email and password for our project, and I'll be enabling it from over here and clicking on save. So this is enabled. Now the next thing which we need to do is we need to add a project inside it. It could be an Android, iOS, web, or a Unity based game which you can add from here. So I'll be adding the Android project over here and clicking on this. Here I need to provide the package name for the app. So what I can do is, let me share my app screen as well. So herein you can see that I have my app screen added over here. So this is a demo project which I was working on. So I'll be showing you from where you can get that package name which we need to enter inside the register app, that is the Android package name. So for that, what you have to do is you have to open this source directory which is present inside the Android and app directory. After this source directory, you have to go in this main directory. From this main directory, you will be getting a file with the name of Android manifest.xml. Inside this file, you can see over here in the second line itself, it is saying package equals to, and there is com.example.appname, whatever you have provided to it. So you have to copy this, whatever is present inside these codes, and switching back the screen over there, and I'll be pasting it here. After that, you can provide a nickname to your app. I'm keeping it as default only. You can also provide the debug sign-in certificate, that is the SHA1 key or SHA256 key over here. But for the email and password sign-in, I don't think we need any of these SHA1 or SHA256 key. So I'm skipping it for now. In the Google sign-in part where it is essential to pass these, so I'll be telling you the implementation of these over there. And I'll be clicking on register app for now. Now we'll be provided with a Google services JSON file over here, which we need to add inside our project. And if we are not adding that file inside our project and we are trying to add the implementation, then we'll be provided with some errors inside our debug console. So make sure to add that inside your project, and I'll be clicking on download. It has downloaded a file for me, and you are also provided where you need to add this file. So let me show you the same inside the project. So switching the screen again. And herein you can see that earlier I showed you that you need to find Android manifest XML file inside this. So we'll be moving back to the app directory, so which is present inside the Android and app. And inside this app directory, just along with this build.gradle file which is present for this app directory, you have to add this Google services.json file over here. So it is already present for this particular project. You just have to copy the file where it was downloaded and add it over here inside this particular folder, that is the app directory. Now the next thing which we need to do over here is we need to add some code for the build.gradle files. So inside this particular dashboard only, like the console, you will be provided with the code whatever you need to add inside the project. So we have two build.gradle files. One is for the project level directory, and the second one is for the project/app module, which I just showed you, along with which you have added your Google services JSON file. So first we need to add this class path over there inside the project level build.gradle file. So I'll be copying it from here and we'll be pasting it inside the project. And let me switch the screen as well after pasting it. So herein, this is the project level build.gradle file which is present directly inside this Android directory. So I have pasted this over here. You can see inside the dependencies, a new class path has been pasted over here. Now I need to go back to that screen and copy the code for the things which we need to add inside the app level build.gradle file. So we need to first add the Google services, this gms.google services, we need to copy this. And apart from that, we need to also add these Firebase Analytics implementation and the implementation for the Firebase BOM inside the dependencies. So I'll be copying these as well, pasting them inside the project, that is the app level build.gradle file, and switching the screen to show you the implementation for the same as well. So herein you can see that for the plugin, I have added it inside the app level build.gradle file, that is com.gms, com.google.gms, Google services. And for the dependencies as well, I have added the implementation for analytics and for the Firebase-BOM over here. And make sure to save the files before you are running the app, else like it will be providing you with some random API errors as well. Now from this console, we have to click on this next button and continue to the console. So this was all the things which you need to do inside your dashboard, or you can say inside your console, for this Firebase for implementing the email and email sign in and email sign up inside your Flutter application. Now the next thing which we need to do over here is that we need to switch to the editor, and inside the editor we need to add the code for the same. So let me pause the video over here and I'll resume once I have set up the editor and the emulator over there. So herein you can see over here that I have switched my screen and have opened the app which we'll be working on. So this app basically has the main function and this my app stateless widget which is having a scaffold, and then we are having an app bar which is displaying a title as a text widget saying Firebase Authentication, and the app is running over here. So let's start adding the dependencies which we'll be needing at first. So the first dependency which we'll be needing is the Firebase core dependency, and the next dependency which we need to add over here inside this project would be the Firebase auth dependency. So let me copy those dependencies from Google and searching for Firebase auth and copying the code under the installing. Next doing the similar thing for Firebase core and pasting it over here as well. Next thing which I need to do over here is, or I need to take care of that, is that inside the build.gradle file, which is basically the Android app level build.gradle file, I need to change the minimum SDK version to 21, Initially I guess it was 16 for me, so I have changed it to 21. And one more thing which I need to change was the Android version. So Android, not the Android version, the Kotlin version. So it is present inside the main build.gradle file, that is the project level build.gradle file, and it was something around 1.3.50 I guess, and I have changed it to 1.5.10. and you need to make the changes as well if you are getting the Kotlin version error or the minimum SDK error, because for me, like, I got both of these errors, so I changed it accordingly. Now moving towards the next part, inside this main.dart file, we first need to create a home page where we'll be having the button or through which we'll be navigating to each of the screens for the authentication purpose. So I'll be creating a new file with the name of home_page.dart. And if you have gone through the newer updates which are available inside our Flutter, in those updates what it has been added is that if you are adding a file name, so you need to add the file name in a way that each of the characters for this name is a small one, and we are like concatenating the file name with underscore, that is the camel case way for writing the file names. So you need to add it that way. If you are not adding it that way, then it will be providing you with the blue lines which are basically from the linter, and yeah, they are telling you that you need to make the changes to your file name. So you need to do or implement the things accordingly. So this is what I have done and name my file according to that only. Now I'll be importing material.dart at first, and I'll be making this particular class as a stateful widget only and adding it inside the main.dart file as a body, or I can add a navigation to it as a body. So I'll be doing it later. Let me first complete this homepage.dart file. So in place of this container, I can return a scaffold over here which will be having a body, having a column. This column will be having the main axis alignment, and apart from that, I guess I need to enclose this column inside a container as well, else we won't be getting a width for the same. So width would be equal to media query dot of context dot size dot width, and inside the column we'll be adding the required widgets or the required navigations to each of the files which we'll be creating in the upcoming and in this video. So for that we need the children's, and inside this children I'll be adding a text button which has an on press property and a children which we need to add. So for the on pressed I'll be adding it later on. For the children I'll be adding a text which will be saying login, and I'll be creating a similar text button which I have added over here multiple times. One will be for sign up and one will be for sign out, where we can also check if the user is currently logged in or not. So we'll be doing that as well, changing the names, sign out and check, and the formatting is also added over here. Now we need to add the navigation to this home page, or we can directly add the home page inside our body. So home page, and it needs to provide me with the suggestion. So home screen it is, and there it goes. It has provided me with the suggestion, and now saving it, it will be updating the emulator accordingly. And you can see that we are displayed with 3 options. One is for the login, one is for the sign up, and one is for the sign out and check. So let's start working on the sign up at first. So for that I need to create a file which will be the sign up file we'll be using for implementing this 2 text fields and 1 button, clicking on which the user can sign up inside our application. So let's start with the sign up at first, and I'll create a similar file for the same. So sign_up_screen.dart, and it will be a stateful widget, but before that I need to import material.dart and stf sign up screen, and inside this sign up screen we'll be having 2 variables at first. One would be the initialize variable and one would be error variable, which will be like triggering the functions accordingly and will be displaying us with a circular progress indicator if the value of underscore initialize variable is set to true, and underscore error variable would be providing us with the error widget whenever the value of that particular variable is set to true as well. So we'll be adding, or we'll be needing both of these variables, and I'll be creating them quickly. Initial value of both of them would be false. Next, I need to initialize a function named as Flutter Fire function. So Flutter Firebase Fire function basically, which would be an async function, and herein we'll be initializing the Firebase app, and we'll be setting the value of underscore initialize to true, and if there is some error, then we'll be setting the value of underscore error variable to true. So let me create that as well. And Firebase import as well, initializing the app check, set state, and inside it setting the value of initialize to true, and for the try we need to add a catch, and inside this catch we'll be setting the state of the underscore error variable. Yeah, and we need to add an init state as well, where we'll be calling this particular function which we have created. So init state, and I need to add @override over here as well, which will be overriding this particular function, and the return type would be void here in super.init state. And apart from that, we need to make a call to the Flutter Firebase Fire function which we have created above. Yep, after that we need to work on the build widget. So for the build widget, I'll be adding, or what I can do is I can remove this container for now, or let the container be available over here. We can display a widget for the error if we are getting the value of underscore error as true. So here we can display, or we can return the error handler or error handle. We'll be creating that, so you don't need to worry about the same. Next, if we are getting underscore initialize value as true, then we can check, and then we can display the progress handle over there. So I'll be setting another condition for the same, and returning progress handle, which is another thing which we need to create. And herein if the both of these conditions are not satisfying, we'll be simply returning the container, which will be basically having the username controller, basically the text fields and the button for signing up. So we'll be adding that, but before that, let me create the error handle and this progress handle. So these will be of a type widget, error handle, returning text, this is an error, and for the progress handle as well. Now let's start working on this. So before implementing this particular widget having the two text field, I need some text editing controller. So one will be for username controller, which will be equal to text editing controller, and it is taking a bit long for providing me with the suggestion. The T needs to be one only. Similarly, I can create one for the password. And after that, here replacing this container with a scaffold. Inside it, we'll be having a body, having a center widget, which will be having a child as padding, taking padding as edge insets, and it will be having a padding of 20 from all the sides. For the child of this padding, we'll be having a column which will be having multiple children's. So for children, Let me add some commas so that the formatting could take place. And inside this children, I'll be adding a text field at first, which will be having the controller set as username controller. Similarly pasting it and creating another one for password controller. And after both of these text fields, what I need to add over here is a button. So this button will be basically triggering or helping us sign in or sign up. So we are implementing the sign up thing, so it will be helping us to sign up inside our app and add the data inside the authentication dashboard which we are having inside Firebase console. So text button, which will be having on pressed and a child. So I'll be adding a child first, which will be a text saying sign up, and for the on press we'll be working on it a bit later. And after this we are having another button which will be for sending the user to the login screen. So I'll be adding that button as well, or what I can do is just copy this, paste login. For the on press we'll be adding the navigator over here for the login screen, and for this we need to add the implementation for the on press. So let's add it over here. I'll be pausing a video for a while and then we'll be continuing with this on press thing. So for this on press, the first thing which we need to do is add a try and catch block over here. So inside the try, I'll be calling the user credentials, or will be creating a particular variable for the same user credential, and the name of it would be user credential only, which will be equal to await. So we need to make this as async over here, and after that it would be equal to Firebase auth instance, and we'll be creating a user. So create user with email and password. The email would be equal to username controller dot text dot toString, and similarly the password would be equal to password controller dot text dot toString. And after that, once we have got this, we can then create a snack bar or display a snack bar to the user. So final snack bar, and it would be a const having the snack bar attached to it, and this snack bar would be having a content which would be equal to a text saying user signed in. Oh, we are signing up, so user signed up, login to check. And I guess I need to import something, or the B needs to be capital, snack bar, and it is showing me an error over here. Final snack bar const, the content is also there. So we are getting an error over here. I guess I haven't added something previously, and yep, I need to add it over here. And now we are getting some more errors, most probably because of this snack bar. So the reason of this error is that we need to add a content over here, and I have added a context, and now the error has gone away. After creating this snack bar, we need to display the snack bar to the user as well. So for that I'll be using the scaffold messenger over here. So scaffold messenger dot of context dot show snack bar, and passing a snack bar to it. This will be displaying the user with a snack bar. And for the catch, we will be catching the errors if we are having the Firebase authentication exception. So on Firebase auth exception, we will be catching the error, and if the error it needs to have a space over here, and inside this we'll be checking if the e dot code, that is the error dot code, if it's basically equals to weak dash password, then we'll be printing the password is weak. Else if e.code is equals to email already in use, so we will be printing it accordingly. And at last we'll be adding a catch again after this for any other errors which are occurring. And we'll be printing inside $e. And this completes our sign in part. So we have already added the particular things. We just need to add the navigation to this login page, which we will be creating later on, or like I'll be creating it in this video itself. So let me create it quickly. So for the login page, what I'll be doing is I'll be creating a new file with the name of login_screen, and importing the material.dart file here as well. The next thing which we need to do over here is create a widget. So create a class. So basically we'll be having a stateful widget again, or the class name would be login screen and the widget type would be a stateful widget. We'll be having a similar controllers, the similar text editing controllers which we had inside the sign up screen. So I'll be copying them from there only, and we'll be pasting them here, creating another string variable for username to print out the username once the login is successful. And after that, inside this build statement, I'll be returning a scaffold which will be having a body as center padding. So body is most probably similar to this what we have added over here. So I'll be copying it and we'll be changing it accordingly according to the needs of the app. So initially we'll be needing a center padding from 20 padding of 20 from all the sides, then 2 text fields inside a column, and then we are having a text button which is basically for signing up. So we need to change that part of the code. We'll be keeping this all these catch statements and the scaffold messenger, that is the snake bar, which is to be displayed to the user. And for this sign up, I'll be changing it to login, and we don't need this login widget over here, the login text button, so I'll be removing it. Now the only thing which we need to do in this particular screen is we need to change the implementation of the try block over here, just that the user credential part. So let's do that quickly. Or what I can do is, herein I am using the create user with email and password, so I can change it to sign in with email and password, and it takes the email and password as well, and accordingly it will be displaying us with the email and password. And I can set the state over here as well. So just before displaying the snack bar, I can set the state. I'm just setting the state for updating the value of username variable. So it was username only, not underscore username, and it would be equal to user credentials dot user null check dot email. And we can add a text widget after this text button which can update the value of this user email. So by mistake I have named it as username, so that's not an thing to worry, or not an issue, so let it be for now. And inside the editor you can see that it is not changing anything, or we are having reload 0 libraries because we need to add the things inside our home page as well. So let me add the navigations for the same. So this would be taking us to navigator dot push material page route, which takes a builder. Similarly, copying this particular navigator, pasting it inside this, changing the login screen to sign up screen, and we need to create this sign out and check, so I'll be creating it as well. New file, sign out underscore check dot dart. Herein as well we need to import the material dot dart, and after that creating the stateful widget again. And it will be having a scaffold being returned at first, which will be having a body as safe area, having a child as a column, having children's. The first one would be an elevated button, having an on pressed property and a child attached to it, which would be equal to a text saying check user. And we have an error over here for this safe area. The B needs to be capital, and we need to add a closing bracket as well. And for the on press, what I can do is I can print out the instance from the Firebase current user. So var current user is equals to await Firebase auth dot instance dot current user, async over here, print current user is dollar current user. And the next thing which I need to add over here is for the sign out, so I'll be copying this elevated button only, pasting it for sign out, and herein I don't need this print statement, neither do I need this, and firebase dot instance sign out directly. Going back to the home screen to add this as well, so for this I'll be copying the navigator again, pasting it, sign out. Now one more thing which I need to do is I need to initialize the Firebase app inside our main function. So that's another important thing which we need to do. Although I should have done this at first, but like I forgot about that, and now before like restarting the app I need to do that as well. So inside the main.dart file only, in the main function which we are having, we need to first add the widget bindings over here. So widget flutter bindings dot ensure initialized. After that we need to await the initialization of the app. So firebase dot initialize app, and now restarting the app once. So you can see that the application has restarted, and now when I'll be clicking on this sign out and check button, it is providing me with the two buttons. One is for check user and one is for sign out. When I'll be clicking on this check user, you can see that it is saying that current user is null. Now let's go back and create a user by signing up. So for sign up, I'll be adding my email as demo3@gmail.com, and the password would be testing123. Clicking on the sign up button, it will be providing us that user signed up, login to check. Now I'll be clicking on this login button. I guess we haven't made this functional, so let's do it as well. So from the home page I can directly copy the code for navigator login, going inside the sign up, where it is, pasting it and importing the login screen. going to the login screen. So here you can see that currently it is saying user email is null and we are provided with the login button. I haven't implemented the UI part for it much better, but yeah, we can do that as well. I'm just showing you the implementation. So just now I created a user as demo@gmail.com. So I'll be adding that, and for the password I'll be adding testing123 and clicking on the login button. So you can see over here that it is displaying user signed up, although it should say user logged in, but I haven't changed the snack bar code, and you can see that it is displaying us that user email is demo3@gmail.com. So we can confirm this whatever the user is logged in by going back to our main screen, that is the home page, and clicking on this sign out and check. After this, when you will be clicking on the check user button, it will be providing you with the data related to the current user, which you can see over here that the user email is email is not verified and so on. When you will be clicking on the sign out button, it will be signing the user out, and now when you will be clicking on the check user, it will be again providing you with this current user is null. So this is how you can implement the email and sign in authentication inside your Flutter application and easily add the code for the same. And although I haven't implemented the UI part much, but you can do that as well if you are trying to implement and make the app look better. For me, I was just there to show you the implementation of the same, so I haven't implemented the UI part that well. But yeah, you can do that according to your needs. So this was pretty much it for this video, where I have shown you about the implementation for the sign in and sign up with the email and password. Apart from that, I have also covered the implementation of what are the things which you need to do inside your dashboard to set the project up. And yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. If you got to learn something new from this video, then make sure to drop a like, comment down your views and what are the things which you need to see which you would like to see in the future, and subscribe to the channel to get all the latest updates. Check out Newton School and Launchpad through the link given in the description, and make sure to give them a try as well. And yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. I'll be seeing you in the next one.